I don't gotta explain anything to anyone. If you click this video, you know exactly who Coryxkenshin is, and you know he made a manga. Basically, I wanted to make a how to draw like video, but I couldn't really, I don't know, I just didn't think it makes sense for it to be the first volume, and I made a how to draw like. So I'm gonna break this video down into 5 parts, starting with an overview or a summary with 0 spoilers, hopefully. What I liked, what I disliked, then I'll be talking about the art, and then I'll rate it. With that being said, alright, Jabari Booker, or JB, is the main person that we will be following around throughout the story. He's a musical prodigy, smart, extremely athletic, and really good at fighting. This sounds like Glaze, but like they actually just made him goated at almost everything. But anyways, his pops has been moving his family around, trying to find better living conditions, which eventually leads them to New Eden, where his pops got a job at a place called Sonata. And if I were to guess, I'd say it's a pretty damn good position. I mean, his car is like crazy. And with that, JB has to attend a whole new school called New Eden Academy. Wait. I'm kind of getting a little bit ahead of myself. There's a main point. I think this concept is pretty interesting, so I'm not gonna say too much. But they have an event, or had an event, called the Eternal Night that leads to some wacky things to happen, right? And pretty much because of that, Sonata is like the main top dog. They pretty much control everything. I'm gonna leave it kind of, you know, ambiguous because I want people to still go and read it, but that's that. Anyways, at New Eden, we meet the rest of the cast: Liam, September, Mr. Shoot, aka Han, and then there's Allison. I think that's how you say her name. Allison. And long story short, they are a team that have to deal with the monsters. Or in short, follow the Dean's orders. And I think that's good for the summary. That's pretty much just what's going on. And the first volume goes over Jabari's first mission with them, so we get to learn about them. I'm pretty sure I did a good job of giving no spoilers, but if I got anything wrong, you should definitely go read it, come back here, and let me know. I like the characters, the monsters, the realization, the dialogue or banter, and most of the fighting. This kinda will be getting into semi-spoilers, like for the realization part, but it was like probably my 3rd favorite panel in the entire volume, so I feel like I have to add it for this. For the characters, I think either Liam or Ali is my favorite. I definitely think Liam is the most interesting, just because of the nuance around his character and why he knows what he knows. And Ali is just tough as hell. She's kind of an asshole, but like, that's only to Jabari. I like the dynamic. It'll probably change though. All the other characters I enjoy as well. I think Han is the most relatable one. And Sep, by default, I have a soft spot for like caring characters. Like, she kind of reminds me of from Black Clover, Mimosa, I think her name was. She kind of reminds me of her. And I also kind of got a soft spot for, well, spoiler alert, over controlling masterminds. Well, mainly if it's done right, but I have high hopes for the Dean. The Dean might become like maybe top 5 characters for me, depending on how they take the character. I'm not gonna say too much on why I like her. I just feel like they can go really good places with her. Then I have the monsters. The monsters both being for the designs. I have no issues with the designs for the monsters. I actually think they're really cool. And I just think the whole way they made the monsters work, especially for how Jabari is and what happens in volume 1, like how he would probably try to stand out from the rest. Yeah, that's probably as much as I can say without saying anything too crazy. But yeah, I just think the monsters work. This is where the spoilers are, kind of. The realization is where it was Jabari was going through all the tests or whatever, and he was pretty much acing them. And like Sep was like, yo, you gonna have to chill out, gang. That you can't be doing all that. Like, you don't want to do all that. And he was just like, no, I'm gonna just do my best. I'm pretty much gonna do my thing. And he did his thing, definitely. And eventually he gets to the dean's office, and it was a nice full circle thing. Like, everything that we've seen from Sep, why she was acting so weird when he was talking about taking the test, the coach, some of the lines that he said, why Liam was acting the way he was acting initially. It was pretty much like they just played on the irony, because we know what's going on, well, to an extent. But to see the main character so upbeat and then have him see what's actually going on, I just feel like that was my favorite part. Plus the panel where he was looking like panning up towards him, I just thought that was done nice. As a whole, I just think the whole Jabari realizing or being told what's actually going on, pretty good story beat. And then the dialogue. I think the dialogue, especially it being like a dystopian type of setting, it doesn't come off too unnatural. and they have some pretty good back and forwards. And then the fight scenes. Don't get me wrong, I think the fight scenes that work for me really work for me. But the ones that don't, well, I'm not really rocking with some of the fight scenes. I feel like sometimes I don't know what's going on, like with the follow-up actions that happen. I don't know if it's just me, it probably is, because with most of the fight scenes for this, I had to like look at the page for a very long time, and normally I wouldn't have to do that. But I couldn't tell what was going on with some of these. But I just think some of the fights could have better flow with how the actions are portrayed. That's like my main only gripe, really. I really like the first volume. I think the first volume is really strong. And especially for it being a first volume, there's not really much I can say that I consistently dislike. I guess maybe I could say like how long the shipping took, but they did it to where it's digital and physical. So I had the digital copy on my computer at purchase. So if I really wanted to, I could have read it months ago, but I just like reading the physical copy and it just took a minute. But that's like neither I like or dislike. It's just whatever. It's just how it was. So yeah, I really have not many dislikes at all. Just some of the scenes were a bit confusing for me personally. Now getting into the art style though. I do and don't like the art style. I can't say it's my favorite. I like the direction it's going in, and I'm 100% confident that it will look better in the future, or at least it'll be more like its own thing. And I could be wrong, but I think this is the illustrator's first time working on manga. And being an artist, I know it takes time, especially for a manga, to develop like a signature style. So I just think that it's fine for it being, you know, the first, for it being how it is now. The only thing that I'm impressed with is pretty much the monster designs and the times where the main character Jabari goes all out. Pretty much all those scenes, like this one, or when a monster is on the page, I have no complaints. I'm pretty much smiling ear to ear. That's all I really have to say about the art style right now until future volumes come out. Just nothing really wowed me but the certain scenes I was talking about. But if I was correct about this being the first volume, I'd say it's a pretty good job for it looking the way it looks right now. But now for the rating. I'm gonna give volume 1 of Monsters We Make a 7 out of 10. I think it took a little bit for me to get hooked, but the build up seeing what's actually going on in the world actually got me interested and wanted to know what happens next. The characters are pretty solid in my opinion. My main biggest thing is that they just don't feel artificial. Like they're not trying to fit any tropes. And I'm pretty sure as the story will go on, like they'll feel like more of their own people, just well-rounded characters. And the enemies or the monsters were already interesting off the bat for me. And the art style for everything really didn't make me go too crazy. Only a handful of times, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing overall. I just think it has to develop into its own thing more. So a 7 out of 10. I think that's pretty good for at least the first volume. But yeah. Anyways, little calm review. Let me know if y'all mess with this type of content or video, like the whole review, checking out the first volume, whatever. Then I'll probably make more. It was fun editing this though. I really did have fun editing this. And yeah, that's it. Liam definitely has the mark. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. All right, now that's it.